Okay, thanks for everybody for joining me. My name is Jake Kurth. This is another one of Leeds Helpful Tips, video tutorial helpful tip things that we do every week. Today's helpful tip is going to be all about setting the Parfocality setup on one of our LCF3 comparison microscopes. Really, you can do this technique on any of our comparison microscopes, or really any microscope that has a C-mount adapter. This video or this YouTube live stream kind of complements a previous live stream I had done, which was all about how to set your diopter numbers. Yeah, we'll just kind of jump in a moment. Quick note about live streams is I'm coming to you live from our offices in Minneapolis, Minnesota. But so things can and sometimes do happen and go wrong. So if we lose the signal, camera feed drops out, just bear with us while I work to get it back. Another cool thing that I always like to do, or always say with some housekeeping, is that this is YouTube. And so if you have a Gmail account and you're comfortable signing in, there is a chat window off to the right, and you can go ahead and type any questions. I'll be trying to watch it as best I can while I'm presenting, and I'll make a point at the very end to just also look and see if anybody has any questions, and then answer them to the best of my ability. So, all right, so let's begin. Like I had said at the beginning, this video or this live stream complements a live stream I did a while back. Actually, I think it was our very first live stream, which was how to set your diopter numbers. So when you're looking through the microscope, when you get things lined up at high power, when you go to low power, everything remains in focus, and the dividing line is crisp, all of that works. That setup is just for you, it's just for your eyes. There is another setup that we usually do when we come out to do an install, which is setting the Parfocality of your camera. And most of the time, you're never going to touch it. It's something that you're going to set up once or have us set up once, and you leave it. It has nothing to do with your eyes, has nothing to do with what looks good to you through the microscope. It's essentially the exact same procedure from the diopter adjustment, but for the camera. And once you've set it, you're good. So what does that mean? So there's a variety of different cameras out there, for digital cameras for microscopy. And they all use, more or less, I feel pretty comfortable saying they all use a common format to attach to a microscope, which is the C-mount format. And so what C-mount refers to essentially is just the thread pitch and how it attaches to this adapter that's right here. So I have two different C-mount adapters to show you. One is just a Zeiss C-mount adapter, and this just threads right onto your camera, threads right on here, and this whole thing then just threads directly to your microscope. This C-mount adapter does not have a Parfocality adjustment. What has happened is Zeiss has calculated exactly where the camera goes in relation to their whole microscope, and it's a single parfocal adapter that just attaches. When we build our comparison scopes, what we'll do is when we're calibrating things, getting things set up, if we have to make any tweaks on the diopter adjustment, what we'll do is we'll actually put shims between where this attaches to the top of the comparison bridge. This is one style of adapter. Doesn't have any Parfocality adjustment, plug and play, it is what you get. In some cases, we fine-tune things by shimming. This is a different style of C-mount adapter, which is commonly sold on our LCF3 and trace comparison microscopes. And this is an adapter that has a Parfocality adjustment. And you'll see that there are, and the Olympus adapter is also very similar to this. What the Olympus adapter has, this is from Spot Diagnostics, and there are two small set screws on the top. So you loosen this, you bring your Allen wrench in, you loosen this side, you loosen this one, and the Allen wrench comes as a standard kit. And the way this diopter adjustment, or not the diopter adjustment, the way this camera Parfocality adjustment for this adapter works is effectively it unscrews. It's a threaded adapter that as you rotate it, it increases or decreases the distance of the adapter itself. And this is very similar, actually, to how the eyepiece adjustment works. Again, please watch that live stream I did about how to set up your diopter numbers. But this thread action of increasing or decreasing the physical length of the adapter is this very similar mechanism to the eyepiece adjustment, where as you rotate the eyepiece with the threads, it increases or decreases the height of the eyepiece. So it's a very similar mechanism, and it's a very similar procedure in order to set the camera parfocality. The Olympus adapter, you're probably going to find that there are different manufacturers have different ways to achieve parfocality with their camera or with a camera attachment, but essentially it's adapters that have this ability to adjust the adapter itself. It's moving lens elements. So this adapter is physically moving this top element. I believe the Olympus adapter is a little different in that it has actually an Allen wrench that as you adjust, it moves internal optics to change that length. Hopefully I haven't lost anybody. If I have, put it in the chat. I'll address it. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to switch over to my camera. So this is a view through the microscope behind me. This camera setup is parfocal, meaning that, and you'll see what I mean, it has nothing to do with my eyepieces. I haven't touched anything with my eyepieces. The camera is parfocal separately from the eyepiece system. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead, there's my monitor, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in, and I'm going to focus with my fine focus down here. Let's get it a little bit finer, very fine focus. And now I'm going to go ahead and zoom out. And what you'll see is my image remains in focus. And that's what we're looking for, and that's what your microscope has the ability to do. I could be looking through the eyepieces right now, along with this, and as long as my diopter numbers were set up correctly, the image would also appear in focus for me. So the question is, how do you set up the parfocality of the camera itself? So it's very similar to the diopter number adjustment for eyepieces. What I'm going to do for this demonstration is make my camera adapter totally wrong. So what I'm going to do is take my Allen wrench, which comes with the C-mount adapter, and I'm going to go ahead and take my 3mm Allen wrench that resides behind the bridge. And now what I'm going to do, and this is the reverse procedure to actually get the parfocality adjustment, is I'm going to loosen the camera adapter itself. So if you guys watched Kevin's video, I believe it was last week, he walked through on how to get the dividing line, or 2 weeks ago, how to change your dividing line. By loosening, we're going to loosen that same set screw. So now the camera adapter is just going to freely rotate in place. So we're going to loosen that one. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take that smaller Allen wrench and loosen those 2 set screws that hold the threads of the upper lens element of the camera adapter. So I'm going to go ahead, come in, we're going to loosen this one. So I've loosened both of these set screws. And again, all I'm doing right now is I've shown you what it should look like. Now I'm going to make it just totally wrong. And so this can happen on a microscope. I've seen this happen in some labs on a microscope where someone's trying to get their images to look more in focus, but doesn't know about the diopter adjustment. And so their eyepieces could be totally wrong, and they're like, well, my camera doesn't look like my eyepieces, and they know just enough to be dangerous. And so what they'll do is they'll come in and make this adjustment. And so in that case, this will be helpful to get back to a parfocal camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make this totally wrong. I'm going to make it wrong just by screwing it all the way in. And so now this is a big adjustment, so now it's going to be pretty off. And what you'll see is when I do that same test I did before, where I zoom in, try to focus on my text. Let's go a little bit higher. And now when I zoom out, it's no longer parfocal, totally off. So the way to fix this is what you do is you do exactly what I just did. You go up to high power, and again, it's only looking through the camera, not through the eyepieces. We're going to bring the image into focus. We're going to go to low power. And now what we're going to do is the reverse of what I did when I made it wrong, is we're going to watch the monitor, and we're going to spin while I have our hand on top, this bottom portion. And what's going to happen is we're going to increase the length of this adapter. And you'll see it's starting to come into better focus. And what I like to do is keep going, keep going. I like to find the range. I go a little bit above, and then I bring it back down. So now you can start to see how it's starting to get softer again. So we've missed that sweet spot. So now what I'm going to do is go back, And try to just get it so it's just perfect. I'm using my business card, and I like using my business card for a couple reasons. One is that it's very flat, and so there's not a lot of ambiguity about what's going to be in focus and what's not, what focal plane I'm at. And another reason I really like using my business card is I have, I think the document examiners have they're going to correct me. I'm going to call it dot matrix printing. I think I'm wrong though. I think it's called something else. But I have a lot of dots, and what's nice about those dots is it's, again, really clear what's in focus and what's not by looking at those dots. So I'm going to get it set up. I think that looks pretty good. So now I'm going to lock those threads. Make sure you have the right Allen wrench. We're going to do that side, and I'm going to do this side. Lock those threads. And then we could just come straight in and lock our camera. But honestly, if you did that, your dividing line might be a little crooked. So what I'm going to do is just bring my dividing line over a little bit, see how it's moving, try to get it lined up on the side of my monitor. So we have straight up and down. That looks pretty good. And now I'm going to lock the camera adapter down. And that's it. That's basically it. Now we can test it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, zoom into high power, make our adjustment of our fine focus, go to our low power, and we're good to go. You won't need to do this often, or pretty much ever. The only time you need to adjust the camera adapter settings is, one, if you switch to a completely new camera and you install it yourself, or two, by accident or just with unawareness, somebody has adjusted the C-mount adapter itself, trying to get a better image, and is taking it out of Parfocal. So thanks for watching, everyone. Again, my name's Jake Kurth with Leeds. If you have any helpful tips or topics you'd like us to cover, please let me know at jkurth@leedsmicro.com, right on the screen. Every week we do a new topic about a Leeds helpful tip, something that our customers have asked us to present on, or something that we're thinking, hey, you know, this could be a good thing. This week we also, just as a quick note, we're also doing one of our Evo Finder focused live streams. That's the Evo Found live stream that Neil's running. And this week's one's going to be a really good topic actually about a graphics setting that improves performance on the Evo Finder. So please tune in there. If there's no questions, thanks for watching. I'm Jake Kurth with Leeds. I hope to see you next week.